My name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review for Love Island Series 9 Episode 7. Now we are a day or two into the next week of Love Island. I'm going to call Sunday the start of week 2. And I'm going to call Monday the second day of week 2. So yeah, the first week was Monday to Friday. So yeah, 7 episodes in. A lot has happened so far. I'm not going to do a recap, but I'm sure you're aware where we're up to as of now. So I think to begin this episode, Ron and Shaq had a quick chat with Will. And Will said that there seemed to be definitely something there between him and new bombshell Jessie. And Ron seemed to be saying that, yeah, for him to actually have a potential with somebody in the villa, he needed to potentially stop laughing too much, because that would usually give girls the wrong impression. And I think that's when Will said, but when he had a chat with Jessie on the terrace, like there was obviously giggling and there was a bit of laughing, there was a bit of flirty banter, but the conversation actually seemed to flow and he wasn't being the normal Will that everyone knows. Ron also had to explain to Lana about what happened the previous night with him and Tanyel giggling all night. She kind of just said that obviously the giggles were a bit out of context and all she heard was Tanyel doing little giggles. She wasn't really sure what was happening. And then she said what made it worse was when she woke up, she also heard Tanyel giggling again. So yeah, from what she heard, it didn't sound great, but obviously from what Ron explained, it was literally just them having a chat or having little giggles in bed. So nothing between the two of them there. They both just said that they know that Tanyel is a nightmare. So maybe she was trying to cause trouble, or yeah, she was just trying to have a bit of fun at night time. With Kai and Tanyel, they did a cheers, and I think Tanyel was like, right, what are we cheersing to? And she went on to say, let's do a cheers about how beautiful we look together. And they both started speaking about the other two people they were talking about. So I think Tanyel just said, how is he getting on with Anna May? And she was obviously asked about Ron. So he said he was starting to get to know Anna May, obviously. And she said she was starting to get to know Ron. But I think at this point, Kai basically said to Tanyel, well, actually, it seems like you're being really, really nice to me. So I think he's kind of worked out here. She's either being nice to him because she knows he's talking to somebody else, or now that she has kind of been in the villa for a little bit, she has been able to open up a little bit more. And I think this is what he just said, I'm not feeling into your ego. So I think he knows that she knows that she's like stunning and lovely girl and has great personality. And because she knows that, now she's trying to be nice to him. And then I think that's what he said. She seems to be so much nicer to him now that his situation and also her situation has changed. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird vibe there, I guess. But it was good that they were actually having that chat about their other couplings to see if they do have potential elsewhere or if they are actually better suited together. I would personally say that I think they are quite a good match. I think Kai is quite relaxed, quite down to earth, quite, I would say, normal and quite mature. Obviously Tanyel's a little bit of a joker, a little bit wild, a little bit fiery. So I think they could be a good balance between each other. But then, yeah, Kai and Anna May were having their quite deep chats and Tanyel hasn't actually got to know Ron yet. So it's quite difficult to see where all their heads are going to turn, but you can only have your head focusing on one person at the same time. The Islanders then played a game of Never Have I Ever. So I think they just had to go around asking different questions about different things that they'd done. So the first option, or the first question was, have you ever cheated on someone? The only two people that said yes were Anna May and Tanya. I think they basically both just said because it was done to them, they just kind of did it in retaliation, with Tanya adding that her relationship was quite toxic. The next one was, never have I ever had sex in a public place? And the only person who hasn't is Olivia. So Will said that he was quite surprised, and I think some of the other Islanders were a bit like, well, hang on, surely everyone's done that. I can say that I haven't, so I'm also on Olivia's side here. And Kai said that he'd had sex somewhere in Budapest, Tanya had it in a spa, and Jessie had sex on a surfboard, which was quite, difficult to do. But obviously, I think some of them are like, you have to be quite flexible and you have to be kind of brave in order to do that. So I mean, I'm just trying to picture how would you have sex on a surfboard, but it's not really the look that I'm wanting to see. Have you had sex with someone over the age of 30? So I think some of the guys said yes. Shaq said that he actually got with a really, really good looking 50-year-old. The next question was, have they ever dated or got with a celebrity? Olivia said that she'd actually been with an athlete. Lana said she'd just been with an actor. And Zara said that she'd actually kissed Usain Bolt, but whether or not that went any further, probably it didn't. He may have bolted. And then, yeah, Tom asked the question, never have I ever wanted to be in a different couple. So obviously a lot of them were a bit like eyes raised or faces squished, and they were kind of a bit like, whoa, I can't believe, like, these questions are now getting a lot more intense. Ron said obviously he would prefer to obviously have been in a couple with Lana. Anna May and Tanyel both said that they would rather have been in a couple with Kai. And the final one was from Tanyel, who said, never have I ever thought that someone was playing a game and not actually looking for love. With Shaq saying that there's definitely someone who's faking their potential relationship with every single person that they're talking to. And Kai said that there's somebody in here just for the clout and to try and stay relevant. So I'm not sure if he's talking about Lana because of her situationship with the actor, or if he may be talking about somebody else, like Zara, for example. I don't know, it could be any of the guys or any of the girls, or he may even be speaking about Will because of his TikTok, like, content stuff. So yeah, bit of a nudge there from Kai, kind of pointing fingers, but no names mentioned. And I think that's what I tweeted. I kind of was like, all these different allegations going past, but there's no names mentioned. Ron and Lana then obviously had a quick chat, and Ron said that the game could have definitely been juicier. I think he also asked her who the ex-boyfriend was that was an actor, and she said that it was Owen Warner, who had just done I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And he said, I did like him in I'm a Celebrity, but now I don't like him anymore. And basically said that he seems to be competing with this guy who's really, really attractive, who's an actor, and he's just a financial advisor ending up on Love Island. So it was quite funny how he did the comparison, but I think Ron is still a decent guy. He's still really, really attractive, and there obviously must have been something that Owen didn't have that maybe Ron does have, that has now attracted her to him, and also attracted her to want to go onto a dating show. And then Olivia and Jessie had a quick chat, so they were basically discussing the Tom and Zara situation. So I think she wanted to just get her in on, like, the latest that had happened, because they'd obviously just popped into the villa, didn't know any of the gossip or the backstory. So she said that Tom and Zara are quite cuddly, and Jessie basically said to Olivia, is he still in the picture for you? And she said no. I think this is when Tom actually came over, offered them both a cup of coffee or tea, and they both said yes. And Jessie said it was quite funny that he was making a tea during their bitching session about him. And Olivia said that she didn't want to be a second choice for Tom, so either he was going to pick Zara or Olivia, and if he was going to go with Zara, then Olivia was going to go look elsewhere, potentially Harris, or if there was a new bombshell, she could potentially be open to that option. Olivia pulled him for a chat, saying, I pulled you because I didn't think you'd pull me. And they were discussing about the situation and what Olivia had heard from some of the other girls. And he said that they obviously did have a kiss, but he didn't want to shut the door with her completely. And yeah, she kind of basically said, well, actually, that doesn't really make sense that you're 50-50 then for the two of us, because you've kissed one, you've not kissed the other. You're being honest and touchy and flirty with one, and then she's just kind of there. And I think Zara just said, if I was here from the beginning, Olivia and Tom wouldn't have even been a thing. I think she said that to the camera. And Olivia said to Tom that if the door is still open for him to get to know her, then she needs to see a lot of effort for getting to know her. Otherwise, she's going to probably end that before that even starts. Zara and Olivia had a quick disagreement here. I think what had happened is that, like I said, Olivia had pulled Tom for this chat. They came back over to the daybeds, and I think Zara just said to Olivia, what was that chat about? And Olivia just said it was a private conversation, with Zara saying, well, I'm a public person, so I want to know what's going on. And she said, no, well, are you married? Like, that she's allowed to have the opportunity to speak to people in private without everyone knowing what's going on. And I think at this point, Zara's comeback was actually, well, I'm in a couple with him, so I should know who he is or isn't talking to and what's going on. And I think you had Lana and Ron sitting on the bed. I think you had a couple of the others sitting there, and I think you had Tom kind of just standing there like, oh my goodness, these two girls are like at it again. And then Olivia basically just said to Zara that she feels like Zara's playing a game. And then, yeah, I think Zara basically, yeah, as Olivia started walking away, Zara just said, bye, see you later, hun, or whatever. Olivia started crying. Zara was really angry. I think Ron and Lana tried to calm Zara down by saying, look, you can't have an input into every conversation, and just because someone says something about you or is involved with themselves in a certain way with someone that she's talking to, that she can't kind of I don't think that she could control the situation basically, and she kind of just went off and said, look, I'm doing what I want to do, like, I know where my head's at, I know what I want to do, and she's playing a game. So I think they both think that each other is playing a game. So that was a bit awkward, probably for Tom as well, who was just sitting there like, well, what do I do? And then Olivia had a quick chat with the two girls, Jessie and Lana, and Olivia basically said, girls, what do you think? Like, have I done anything wrong? And Lana basically agreed with her, saying, I don't know how she thinks that she owns him, because obviously at the end of the day, she is the new girl. Olivia was speaking to him first, and it just happens that bombshells come in, and yeah, they may have a better connection, but Olivia is still allowed to have a chat with him in private without having to share every single little detail of what they're talking about. And then we've got one more page of notes as well. Tom and Zara had a quick chat as well, and she said that even the way Olivia pulled him for a chat was rude. And I think she kind of just forgot about Olivia at this point and said, look, we can do us. I don't know why she's even involved. Olivia and Zara had a quick go at each other in the makeup room, with Olivia saying to Zara, everyone's seeing the real you now, Zara. With Zara going, well, actually, everyone's seeing the real you. In terms of the morning chat, Aaron said that he wanted to pull Olivia for a chat. Obviously, he was the newest guy to the villa, so he's allowed to kind of get to know whoever he wants to get to know. Tom said that he likes everything about Zara apart from the situation that happened yesterday, and he's got to work out whether he wants to be with someone that's fiery like that, or Olivia, who's probably just as fiery, and whether he can handle that, and if it's not really right for him, then he'll probably end either or both of those. Kai said to Ron and Will that there was a lot of good chat, but no spark between him and Anna May, and Ron actually added that he would be better off with Tanyel, and that he seems a lot more fun and vibrant and energetic with her. There will be fire, and it will take time for Tanyel to trust people in order for her to open up, but there seems to be something a little bit more between him and Tanyel rather than Anna May and Kai. Olivia and Zara had another quick chat again, so this is about argument number 4 now. Olivia said that she kind of wanted to just sweep it under the carpet, the situation, and that she added that they're not going to be the best of friends, but for everyone else's sake, they should just keep their situation civil. I think Zara said that she obviously came in a different way from Olivia, and she didn't expect the connection with Tom that she actually did have. And I think that's when Olivia said that they're obviously both very, very strong girls, and she at this point said that she was going to focus on Harris. So it's a bit of a sticky situation, because I'm sure Olivia does still like Tom, but because of how complicated and dramatic the Tom and Zara situation is, she kind of probably doesn't want to recouple with Tom or choose Tom, because Zara's always going to come at her again, and I don't think Zara's talking to any of the other boys properly. So the only way Olivia can recouple with Tom is if Zara gets dumped from the island, or if Catherine happens and everything just gets thrown all over the place. Olivia doesn't find anyone, Zara finds someone else, and then Tom goes, actually, you know what, Zara's gone for a different guy, I'm going back to Olivia, but then she doesn't want to be a second option. So it's going to be just a weird vibe for the three of them until at least one of the three of them goes, or at least until one of the girls goes. And yeah, Aaron and Jessie both received texts pretty much at the same time, saying that they could both pick 2 of the opposite gender to go on a date with. So Aaron chose Olivia and Lana, Jessie chose Will and Tom. So with Will and Jessie, she said that she was settling in quite nicely, and it was nice to have Will around, someone she could actually talk to and obviously be relatable with. And Aaron questioned to Olivia, am I romantic? And joked about how he set up the whole of the date, when actually it was obviously set up by the Love Island production team. And obviously I think this is when he tried to pop open a bottle of bubbly, and Olivia said if it goes wrong, it potentially could actually be an ick. When she said that she was quite happy in a relationship with Harris, and she was quite happy to see where that was going, he basically said, oh, do you not see it, like, she basically said to him, oh, do you not see it working? And I think he pulled like a bit of a face, because he said, yeah, because what you're saying is that it works, but from your body language, it's almost like you didn't even believe what you were saying. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he's trying to make Olivia think it's not going to work with Harris, for him to go, well, actually, I think it could work with me. So yeah, maybe there was a double bluff there of, he does think it can work with Harris, so he's got to make out to Olivia he doesn't think it's going to happen with Harris, so that she can pick him. And then I think that's when he said, that's for you to find out. So yeah, maybe he does think that it's not going to work with Harris. So he's basically saying, Olivia, you go try and work it out with Harris, wait for it all to go wrong, and then just remember I'm here for you. And then Will actually said to Jessie at the end of their date he would like to go on a second date, so they did a cheers. I think they fed each other grapes, and then that was kind of it for his date. Ron and Harris back at the villa basically said that obviously it was only the two of them that had girls that were on the date. Obviously Ron had said goodbye to Lana, and Harris had said goodbye to Olivia. Harris said that obviously new guy Aaron had picked Olivia because he must obviously fancy her. So there probably is a little bit of competition there. But then again, just from what I've seen within the last like one episode of Aaron, he does come across a lot more mature than Harris. But again, it's purely because of age. Obviously Aaron has been on Love Island before. So it's just whether or not Olivia thinks she's got a better connection with him than Harris as to who she decides to go with. But again, another weird little triangle there. So that'll be quite interesting to see how that develops. Aaron had obviously pulled Lana for his second date. Lana kind of asked him how he was. He said, yeah, I'm feeling good. And he basically said, well, I'm better now, because obviously she joined him on the date. She said that she had not usually gone for good people in the past, and she wanted someone who potentially could be her best friend and also her boyfriend, with Aaron agreeing, saying, yeah, absolutely, like, you need to get on as friends first before you think any sort of connection is going to be there. With Will and Olivia, they both had a quick chat saying that, well, Olivia, I think, said that Lana needs to open her eyes to somebody different to potentially see if there's something else there, with Will adding that Ron needs a test. So to see if she can pass the test, and also to see if Ron can pass the test if he also has a bombshell that comes in. And then for Tom and Jessie, Jessie said that she usually goes for the smaller things, so things like banter. And as soon as she said the word banter, Tom repeated it in an Australian accent, so they were laughing about that. So again, a bit of an initial flirt, or a bit of an initial reaction. And yeah, Aaron said to Lana that he's quite romantic, with Lana asking him what his ideal date would be. He said a walk on the beach with the sunset. And I think Lana jumped in and said, well, actually, I'm guessing you mean in Australia, because we don't really have any sun in the UK. And he asked whether it put pressure on her getting to know Ron, because obviously she was now obviously having this date with Aaron. And then Anna-May and Tanya had a quick chat. So this is before the Six Islanders came back from their dates. Anna-May had said to Tanya that she feels a little bit of an ick, and I don't know if that was regarding Kai. But Tanya said that she's also not questioned whether it was because Anna-May wasn't seeing the right qualities. Anna-May said that she didn't like how she felt, but she was just getting childish vibes. So I think she was relating that back to Kai, because obviously she'd already ended the Harris situation. So I think she was talking about Kai here. Aaron basically said to the boys that both of the dates went well. He does think that Olivia is quite fiery. She's got quite fiery vibes. So all the guys, I think, started to have a little giggle because they already know that. Olivia said to the girls that her head was elsewhere. It wasn't actually with Aaron. And also, Aaron then went on to say his chat with Lana was really, really good. Again, the guys all giggled because Ron was sitting there having to listen to all this. And Lana said that she wasn't closed off, not to Aaron anyway. So again, she and Olivia probably are happy to stick with their current guys as opposed to new guy Aaron. And yeah, Lana said that her head wasn't turned, it was here at home. Jessie said that she wanted to speak to Will a little bit more. Didn't actually talk about her date with Tom, so maybe she liked him, but she doesn't want to give anything away, or because she knows there's already two girls fighting for him, she doesn't really want to get involved in like a square situation rather than a triangle. So she may be just going to say, yeah, the date was great, but it's not going to go anywhere. And at the end of the episode, we got told that the members of the public were going to be able to vote for their favourite boy and favourite girl. And I think at the end of the week, the ones with the lowest votes potentially were going to be dumped from the villa. So this is where the real dumpings begin, and this is where the real drama begins. I think the first week was kind of like a bit of a test. It was kind of a bit of an introduction to everyone. Like, who do you like, who do you not like? Bring in 5 bombshells, have 1 dumping, and get to know the new host, Maya Jama. But I think at the moment it's going to get really, really difficult, not only to remember what's happened in every episode, but also to see what happens in every future episode. So yeah, that is it for this episode for now. I wouldn't be able to tell you who my favourites are at the moment, but I think the Zara and Olivia situation has probably come to an end now. I think for now it's more of Tanyel opening up, deciding who she wants to get with. I think it's the new people, Aaron and Jessie, kind of deciding who they want to couple with. Obviously Aaron isn't going to get much progress with Lana and Olivia because they both like their other guys. Jessie and Will seem to be getting on quite well. You've obviously got Shaq and Tanya. Kai also likes Tanyel. His thing with Anna-May is probably going to end purely because there's no chat, and also Anna-May thinks that he's childish, so that's probably going to end as well. And then you've got the Zara-Tom situation, which again, I think they work well, but I wouldn't be surprised if his head turns for somebody else like Catherine Moore, or if he gets too stressed out because she's such a fiery girl. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot of islanders in there. Like I said, we've only lost one so far, but I think in the next few days it will be quite interesting to see who goes on dates with who couples up with who, if anyone recouples with someone that is unexpected. So yeah, that's going to be it for now. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And until my next review for Love Island Series 9, thank you for watching and goodbye.